KATC TV3 Studios. This is Friday Night Football.
It's gonna go, baby, like the lamb. Before you get the bell, gotta fight the champ. I'm talking to the front row, I'm talking to the back. Say it's a knockout, boy, I knock him on his back. Whoa!
Well, if Friday Night Football is the party, this is the after party. Welcome to Friday Night Football Overtime, the very, very new show where we take 15 more minutes to digest all that was high school football tonight.
And there was a lot
to
to digest tonight.
There was.
We'll remind our game of the week, feature a pair of athletes in our always funny Beyond the Huddle interviews. I think we're a little bit biased there, and bring you plays of the night.
Yeah, but first, let's talk football. The story of the night, Acadiana picking up a big win in the season opener against Kaplan. What's so important about this is it's Matt McCullough's first win. Acadiana, Kaplan, a pair of semifinalists from last season. Another big game as Matt McCullough wins, as we said, his first game as a head coach. Early in this game, Laryl Green taking it up the middle for the touchdown. The Rams leading 13-6 at the break in the third quarter. Dylan Monette, we're going to call his name throughout the year.
He wore number 10 last year. He's wearing number 1 this year. But you could always pick out fast. It doesn't matter what number you wear.
Oh, and Matt McCullough, he's going to run the veer, of course, so we saw that. But check this out, a nice catch here for Kaplan, Quinlan Cobb. He is a big man getting a touchdown.
Yeah. He's a Super 16 member in Quinlan Cobb. You know, he's a guy that's a defensive lineman, maybe trying him out at running back a little bit, but he's pretty good in all facets of the game.
Yeah, that is an absolutely huge win. What's your takeaway now? Matt McCullough coming out right away and picking up a win. You know, there were questions about Acadiana and how good they would be. They sure looked good against Kaplan.
Yeah, and that's a tough game. I know Kaplan's in 3A, but obviously Kaplan is always a contender in that class, and so to get that victory on the road too, that's big time. And it'll just build character. I mean, that's really what you want in these early season games before you get into district play, is building character, setting your tone.
Setting the tone. I like that one.
I think he set his tone tonight in that win over Kaplan.
Well, I asked in Friday Night Football, would he walk the plank? Nope, didn't walk the plank. Matt McCullough did not walk the plank and swim with the fishes. Well, let's keep it in district. We got some games teams that impact our Acadiana teams, but maybe don't play in Acadiana games we don't usually get to.
Sure.
Barb and Ponchatoula. Now, Barb was a part of that three-way in District 5 3A tie last season, 3-5A tie that is, last season with Acadiana Sulphur. Barb led 21-7 late in the first half. TJ Finley finds his man, gets out of bounds, and Tyler Spears with a tough first down run. Finley, though, here picked off in the end zone in the third quarter, but he would finally find Gresham for a touchdown to take a 21-13 lead here in the third quarter.
And that's actually an LSU commit, their quarterback.
Yes, he's the number 1 recruit he's the number 1 quarterback recruit. I think it's next year's class. He's a junior.
I'm not sure on where he ranks, but I know
Louisiana.
Obviously he's LSU's. He's number 1 at LSU's heart.
Well, I was looking at it today because of Caleb Holstein over at STM. Barb gets a 49-27 victory. Let's check on Washington Marion now.
Yeah, now Washington Marion joined Jennings in District 4 3A last season, taking on former district rival Leesville tonight. And, of course, Washington Marion and Leesville getting at it very early on in this one. And here with the touchdown run into the goal line from short yardage. Leesville, though, would definitely show some command in this one. On fourth down, here, Washington Marion dropping back to pass. And they are going to score, but it would be Leesville that would actually take this game 38-18.
Yeah, Kinder and Oakdale, finally one of the 3 powers in 5-2A with Welsh and Notre Dame. The Yellow Jackets playing Oakdale. Both teams would come out slow in the first half until Hayes Thawit finds Skylar Lekelt on the sideline, who breaks a few tackles and finds his way in the end zone, giving the Yellow Jackets an early lead. On the ensuing extra point attempt, fake the field goal, scrambles, and finds a man in the back of the end zone. 15-0
done.
going into the third. That was going into the third. 35-0. Kinder gets the win. We know how good Kinder absolutely is.
Yes, now that's for certain. Now the Bulldogs on a 4-game winning streak. That's Church Point and Jennings from our game of the week. But Church Point trying to reverse their fortunes tonight. Opening drive, Cole Myers finds Latavius Stewart all alone for the easy score. And it's 7-0 Bulldogs. Ensuing drive for the Bears, and they go with Old Faithful, Rodney Dupuis. Man, he is going to churn for some yards this year. 30-yard touchdown run on that one. Bears missed the extra point, but Jennings helps them out after shutting down the Bulldogs inside their own 5-yard line. The bad snap leads to a safety and 2 points for Church Point. Bears get the ball back, and Breland Jones keeps it and scores from the Jennings 48-yard line. Breland Jones at QB has to be one of the fastest guys in the area. 15-7, 23-7 at one point, but with 4 minutes left in the game, Jennings scores to make it 23-21. Bears in danger of giving the ball back with just over a minute to go in the game. 3rd and 6 from their own 25, but Tyron McDade breaks loose and gets busy. I call that a walk-off home run. I mean, that's a 75-yard touchdown, but that is how you walk it off. And the Bears getting that early season win that they hope can propel them for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that is our game of the week rewind. A huge, huge win for Church Point. 3-game losing streak to Jennings. They come up with the W. Mike Carter caught up with Coach Arsenault afterwards.
A first half filled with big plays and even bigger mistakes for both Church Point and Jennings gave way to a second half in which the Bears simply outplayed the Bulldogs in every phase of the game, shutting down the Jennings offense and flipping the script on last year's playoff loss.
We came out and we did the things we needed to do. We executed late in the game. Both teams were very fatigued. We made enough plays there at the end to try to close this thing out. Yeah, we were able to make some stops when we needed some stops, and got some first downs when we needed some first downs, and we were able to close this thing out.
7 points last November, 30 points tonight. How do you feel about your offense 1 game into the season?
Well, we feel good, but, you know, we had an opportunity to close it out with about 7 minutes left, and we ended up giving them the ball back. We had some kids get tired. We turned it over. Just can't do that later in the year.
Despite just giving up 15 points in the first half, the Bulldogs really cost themselves early on in this one. Jennings gave up 74 yards on 9 penalties in the first half, stifling multiple offensive drives. Bears head coach John Arsenault telling me in order for his team to win tonight, they were going to need to out-hustle and out-focus the Bulldogs. Safe to say, Church Point got the job done tonight. In Church Point, Mike Carter, KATC Sports.
Well, thank you, Mike. Here are some notable headlines from tonight. We already told you about Coach McCullough picking up the victory. St. Martinville and Travian Benjamin absolutely impressed in last night's win over New Iberia. Benjamin, 188 yards and 3 touchdowns. Catholic New Iberia blew out Westgate and used 500 yards rushing tonight. 500 yards. We know Trey Amos is fast, but he was good
really
tonight,
fast.
and he wasn't alone. And Welsh, after a rough Jamboree game last week, they beat Rain tonight. That's a 4A game. We didn't know what Welsh really had in the tank.
I say, well,
look good.
You talk about 2 returning champs in Welsh and in Catholic, not knowing what they have coming back, with Zach Hayes graduating from Welsh and Diallo Landry graduating from Catholic. You could say that both of those guys were their MVPs. Well, their team certainly stepped up to the plate tonight, showing that there's definitely more in the cupboard than just those guys and those seniors. So, and for those quarterbacks in that first start to get that first win, the monkey off your back, coming off of a championship, people are talking about, can you repeat? To be able to get those type of victories, that is so pivotal and important just as the season goes on.
The champs, 3-0 tonight.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good start, though, after you won a championship.
It speaks to a championship mentality, though. When you win that championship, you kind of get that feel.
Absolutely. Back to the lights. Bazille and Iota last night, a few games from Thursday. 9-win teams from a year ago. Alto Acadia Parish tied at 7 under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Check out this whole career by the Bulldogs offensive line. Luke Ducey rips off 52-yard gain before stepping out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. A few plays later, Iota's QB Trey Ramblin'. Great protection as he rolls out and finds Sharnari Johnson in the front corner of the end zone for the score. Iota would score 2 more and win 28-10. All-district tight end Adam Purser among a few stars for OC, who was out last night against Northwest. It took the whole first half to get offenses going. 3 minutes to go, though. Mekhi Hammond takes the slant, races 50 yards down the sideline, finally pushed out around the 10. On the very next play, Montez Sam keeps it himself, 6-0. A special teams debacle gave the ball right back to Northwest, who then scores again. So it's Northwest picking up a 32-22 victory over Catholic last
and
night.
I guess you could say Sam I Am.
Sam I Am.
Yeah, Sam I Am there.
Sam
yeah,
I Am.
maybe that nickname could stick.
We've come to, personally, my favorite segment maybe. I can't wait for it. It's time to go beyond the huddle with a pair of Acadiana football players.
Yes, now this segment is something that we're going to feature each week in overtime. And then last year, Welsh won its first state title ever. And Ryan McKenzie and John Daigle, not afraid to remind you of that.
My name is Ryan McKenzie.
My name is John Daigle.
He might be big, but he's a little soft on the inside.
This is the only dude I know that can spend like $30 at a fast food restaurant. You know, just walk away. You don't gotta get all showboaty, just walk away. And this is Beyond the Huddle.
And this is Beyond the Huddle.
Batman, Superman, or other?
Superman.
He can fly, you know.
Would you rather wrestle a lion or swim away from a shark?
I'd rather wrestle a lion. I mean, I'm gonna lose either way. If I get behind the lion, I can suplex him, it's over with.
I wrestle from a shark.
Can you outswim a shark?
Oh yeah, I'm a dolphin.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Ooh, Backstreet Boys.
Can you name one of their songs?
Dude, hold on. Backstreet Boys.
I want it that way.
Do you have an impression of Coach?
Okay. Hold on, okay, I got it. Hold on.
That's selfish. Pick up the intensity.
Hold on. All I gotta say is, if you get in our way, it's gonna be the same as all last year.
Ryan McKenzie couldn't answer most of his questions without losing his.
He said kiss the ring.
He did.
Hey, man, that's big talk.
You came out and you laid a smackdown tonight.
That's true.
Against a team who had a great season in 2017. Rain's no joke.
Rain is definitely no joke, and they have proven themselves over the last couple years. But man, I love it. I personally love it when you talk big and win big. When you talk big and you can't back it up, that's called cocky. But when you talk big and you win big too, man, that just shows, hey, you're about your business.
Absolutely. Let's move on now to our plays of the night. Now, we picked our 3 favorite. After the show, it is your job to vote at KATC.com.
Yeah, now we'll have the full results as we name the play of the night Sunday night at 10 with me, so tune in. But let's roll the highlights. Our first finalist comes from Turling's. Charlie Spence is walking the line. A beautiful line.
Not
the
the plank,
sideline grab. Yes, indeedy. Man, check this out again, and it is going to be a beaut as we slow it down here in a second. Oh, man. Toe drag swag.
Yeah, I wish we had the sideline cam.
Yeah,
Our
absolutely.
number 2 play came from E-Rath. It's Doming. I believe it's Ethan Doming going up and catching. Look at this guy get up. The ball just kind of a floater. He's going to high point that ball, bring it into his body, lands on his shoulder, keeps possession of the ball. It's a great catch.
And then Lafayette High, Zan Saunier. Deep pass to Kayvon Valerie for the score. Man, he has some speed on him. And Lafayette, even though it didn't work out in their favor tonight against STM, I don't think they'll go 0-10 again.
Yeah, I was about to say that they didn't win a game last season.
Right.
I don't think that'll happen again. Remember, you have to go to KATC.com to vote for the plays of the night. Give us a couple minutes. We're going to get those 3 plays up. We already have the poll ready to go. We just got to get the video up so you can head over there and pick your player. You only get to vote once.
I'm about to say, you can start voting now. If the poll's up.
I don't think the link's live yet.
I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Maybe
I'm
we
sorry.
should try
I
that next
misled
week.
you.
We'll get the link live. Seth, week 1 in the books. What's your takeaway?
I think the takeaway is that there are some new coaches, obviously, that got some wins. We talked about McCullough, but then also the champs being the champs in the early season. I mean, of course, it's only week 1. You know, there's still 9 more games to play before we get to the playoffs. But for some of those guys, they answered some big questions tonight, especially when you talk about Welsh and Catholic. And then even LCA, I mean, they had 42 points up mid-second quarter. I mean, that is big time. Zachary Clement coming back from his injury and showing that he still knows how to put points on the board.
Oh, maybe it's called Overreaction Friday. I think I got STM, LCA, Catholic New Iberia, Welsh. I know Notre Dame can't win one if Catholic New Iberia wins one. I think everyone's winning championships because we have a lot of good-looking teams. But our defending champs plus STM, they all super, super impressive. But they're counting us down. That is a wrap on Friday Night Football Overtime. Thank you for joining us on ABC for Friday Night Football. And again, here on KATC.com for Seth Lewis, the entire production staff. Thank you for staying up late with us. We'll see you next week.